Hello there. I'm still going through seeds. I try to do lives, but people who show up don't talk, so I am going to be doing these tiny little containers, and I'm going to have one for herbs, one for large crops, and one for vegetables. And even though like corn is a vegetable, I'm not going to put it in the same category as the vegetables because I want to know the large crops that are going to create a lot of vining is what I'm thinking of. So my large crops I have listed as melons, cucumbers, corns, beans, and onions. They're all in alphabetical order. By the time the season is done, I can guarantee you they will not be. That is why we're doing this. And then we have other vegetables like turnips, yellow onions, tomatoes, the onion, whatever you call those pieces, carrots, so you know, smaller crops compared to those who take over everything. Radish, some fir, various peppers. I have no idea. They're sweet, hot, whatever, till they grow. Beets. Got plenty of them. Beets are the ones they have tiny little seeds. They look like almost like a, what do you call it, goat head? And then there's several tiny seeds inside of that. So, these are black beauties. These are tomatoes. Don't have a lot, but I got them from a friend. This is the yellow pear geranium kiss subarctic plenty. And there are tomatoes. Okay. So a big mouthful. Mixed lettuce. Got a bunch of that. I can't fit, I don't want to have, if I'm done with my vegetables, then I'll put all these extras somewhere else. Carrots. Peppers. This just happens to be Hungarian yellow wax sweet pepper. Some broccoli. I'm not a big broccoli fan unless I'm boiling it, so there's a couple. I got these on Etsy. And then purple question marks. I don't know if it's lettuce, kale, whatever. They're just tiny seeds. It could be purple thyme, all that. So those are the smallest vegetables. And I have another one of these bigger containers, but it's like vegetables. I'm trying to think. Alright. Ouch. Yeah, I have a brand new thicker container, and it's full with all these little containers. There's no point in taking those out and putting these in there. I have Jack B. Little pumpkins. Got plenty of those. Spinach. So Pete's and repeats. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put all these inside of the tub where I have all the extra that don't have a place to go right now. I want to try to get to growing these because I want to do the oldest crop first. Not sure how old these are, not sure how well they're going to take. So I'm going to have to plant a bunch of them. But I have to be very selective with what I'm planting because I only have so many things to plant with as far as containers. And then the rest I can just throw willy-nilly somewhere. So these are all my herbs. Why are you bowed like that? Who is not fitting in nicely? Should be all together. Okay. That was weird. Actually, I have another one of these, but it's shaped differently. Same difference. And then we have different tomatoes. I'm going through my big suitcase box, as I call it. I got a whole mess of seeds that escape from beans to whatever else, which is really annoying because if small seeds escape from here because they're not proof, then it escapes into the big, so you have a whole mess of stuff you don't know what's going on. So classic beefsteak tomatoes, there's nothing in there. Then we have these, which I thought was interesting, Aunt Molly's ground cherries, which are tomatoes, but they have that paper on them. Obviously, I tried to plant them, and it didn't happen. There's some in there. I have a brand new one. These are the ones I love. Is there any in there? Yeah. Little, tiny little guys. So cute. Tomatillo purple. Same thing as a yellow with the skin around it. And then, let's see here. White Beauty. Put those away. I've been stapling, so let me staple instead of tape, because tape has a tendency to rip. These have very few. They get stuck inside the, okay, if there's any at all. Yeah, there's a couple in there. They get stuck sometimes if they don't seal the bottom correctly. The glue overlaps inside, and yeah. Anywho. So, actually, let me go do this. This is my cold brassica. Kale. Don't know how to cook it, what to use with it. I'll have to do research. Brussels sprouts, not a big fan unless they're fried. Asparagus is one of those crops along with the onions. I'm going to have to start her early here next month. Cauliflower, it's called cold brassica, so you'll have to think of how many days it takes to mature. So these are like start indoors 8 to 12 weeks before last frost. So mine is in May. 8 to 12 is 4, 8, so 2.5 months. You have to, it helps putting a note on here. Okay, well then that's going to be in April. So you don't have to stop and think about it all the time. And then some kale that looks like parsley. So I will do the math later because I don't know how much I'm gonna make. I want to make sure the tent is up and running before I assume that I can do all this. Now we have cucumbers. These are what they call the photo things. I got this from Temu. And so I have a note on here. These are the Space Master 80 cucumbers. And I have a note for myself to say soak. And that means it does better when you start, you soak them and you cut off the end so the water gets in there. So little notes like that. Soak. Smutner cucumber. Cute little things. Dragon egg cucumber. Another Smutner. Lemon cuke. Size of a medium tomato. And now, this is what you get when you start tearing things open and you have escapees. I like the mystery of it though. So I have all those. My heater just came on, so you're going to hear that doing its thing. I don't know if these are the right cucumbers, but I'm just going to put them in there anyway. Instead of sitting there spending time to find a place or to, it gives me an idea of what it may or may not be. lemon. Do I have any lemon here? Yep, plenty of lemon. Lemon cube. Dragon's ear. No dragon's ear left. Sumner's. Soak. And those are soak. So these are the same ones. So I'm going to just take the few that came out and put them in here. Put some tape across because their glue is no bueno. Where's my cubes? These are my cubes. Beans. I just have them loose in there. Onions. What kind of onions do we have? Onions is something I want. I want the store-bought to get them as big as store-bought. This is onion Chipolean red. Or just in a little baggie, nothing to see. Walla Walla. Red long of Tropea. That's an interesting thing. White sweet Spanish. I don't like buying things. You just throw them and it doesn't work. It just wastes money. And then Chipolon red again. I got these from Etsy. Anytime they're in those small bags, it's an Etsy thing. They're supposed to be anti-static. No, they're not. Catnip. Corn. Corn is very hard for me to grow. I've never had any luck, even if it's gotten to an adult. It just doesn't do its thing. So maybe the greenhouse would be a good thing. And I've got some escapees, of course. And this I tried to grow. And Japanese holeless corn. And that's unusual. So you don't have to worry about when you chew on popcorn. It doesn't have that hole that sticks in your teeth, is what I'm assuming it is. The hole, that's what the hole is. Melons. Let me see your melons. No, really don't. I don't want to do that. No. This is a Tigger melon. Looks very interesting. Honeydew. Is there any left in there? Yeah. Orange Joello. Whatever you want to call it. So that's interesting. So you can tell if they're opened up, I haven't not had them work for me whatsoever. I just willy-nilly go, oh yeah, I should be good enough, just throw them in there. No, that doesn't work that way. Alright. More escapees. Let me see what kind of seeds these look like. Whether those are them, I don't know. I don't care. I'm going to be going through all the packages that are opened before I open any others. Honeydew melon. I can get those. I had honeydew before in the store. And this is Tigger. Usually Tiggers with 1G, but okay, there's plenty of them in there. I'm going to do this instead. Ow. And lettuce. Let us see what you want. There's a thin side and there's a thick side to these packages. As you can tell, that's thin and that's quite deep. We have red sails, devil's ear, escapees. I think this is going to be the oak leaf. Doesn't show much up there because I ripped it off. Grand Rapids leaf. It's got some stuck to the inside here, and I don't know if it's this one or the other one. Cinnamon. Grand Rapids. Magnia head or something, however you pronounce that. Red, super red romaine. Salad bowl mix for a free gift. Iceberg. Now I have 2 of those pouches, as you saw, full of lettuce. So I take them out of there, put them in here, and I use these. And then Butter Crunch. Then I have... Oh, this doesn't... Okay. This is just a brochure when I bought things that says, thanks for supporting us. Thank you for supporting Monarch Milkweed Seeds to help grow. Leave us a positive comment and all this stuff, but it was different. I didn't buy any milkweed. I got some, but somebody gave them to me, so. Alright, so let's do this. This is lettuce. Let us do this. Before more things fall on the floor. That fell on the floor. Alright. This. I'm going to carefully just rub. That was smart. Just dump the whole package because I was. Never mind, I'm not going to explain myself. I went to go take off the seeds from the label, and I went to go like that to knock it off, and seeds came out. Go figure. Just the fun, stupid stuff I always do. Come on, stupid. Alright. Stupid is as stupid does, that is what I'm saying. I don't care. I don't care. Stupid envelopes anyway. That's right, they get offended by me calling them stupid. Red sails. It's easier to take off a staple than it is tape that may hold on to the material and rip it, and then you don't know what the heck's going on. I'm not one for following instructions about how many days and spacing and stuff, but this year I want to dedicate myself to doing it with that, to making what I'm supposed to make. Alright, so now I'm going to I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, but look at all those seeds. They escaped out of the containers somehow, somewhere, something. So, I'm just going to put them inside of one of my empty containers, and then I can recognize some of them. La 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 la, I'm going to put it in catnip, which I know it's not going to be catnip. But some of them I can recognize as dill and stuff, so let me see how graceful I can do this. This lid's going to come open. Oops, you know what? Alright, well, let's see here. I have the other side that's trying to come out as well. Okay, that worked good. So we're going to do the same for the other side. Got sunflower seeds. Alright, there we go. Phew. So that is why it's important to make sure you cover up your bags. That's it. I'm done with seeds tonight. It's been a long day. My sewer backed up and I had to deal with that, so now we have to call for a plumber. It's find our plumber to snake the drain. Where I'm at, every winter it seems to do it, and much less it always does it around not a vacation, a holiday, which Monday is going to be Martin Luther's Day. And then the landlady was willing to pay overtime, which is like $250 an hour to snake it, but last time they did it, it worked beautifully. So anyway, that's what I've been doing. Places. That's what I formalized this. But yeah, other than that, I'm just gonna sit here and go through and play around with my seeds and then start finding out what I'm gonna plant. And because I have such a big greenhouse, I have a lot of those fabric pots, which I got rid of a lot, but I also kept a lot, and I still have brand new ones I've never used. So we'll see how much that tent holds, what I can do, fancy it up and whatnot. So stay tuned for more of these gardening tips. If you like this kind of content, please like, subscribe, thumbs up. Let me know in the comments what you're doing and gardening wise, and we'll talk to you then. Bye.